famous hockey player from the Islanders, Brian Trottier. All right, Freddie.
Freddie, sorry.
Yeah. All right, Brian. So what's up?
We're having a great time. We're over here in a good hockey country, enjoying meeting the fans and having a fun day here on a Sunday.
Right. All right. So you're a pretty famous hockey player, you know.
Well, I had some good years, you know.
Yeah.
15 years with the Islanders, 2 more with the Penguins, and picked up a little jewelry along the way, and got into coaching. Went over to Colorado, picked up another ring over there. So it's been a fun career.
Yeah. Do you enjoy coaching? I mean, do you do that now?
Yeah, I did enjoy coaching, but I think I'm going to move on. I'm going to get more into the player development, and work with the kids, and do my clinics, and get around the country and work with young kids, and hopefully find a way to get them to the highest level they can possibly play.
Okay. All right, Jamie, you want to ask Brian? Jamie has a sports show called In the Bleachers, and I have a sports show called Fred and Nev's Pro Football Picks. But he's gonna tell you a couple of questions. Go ahead. What do you want?
You have been involved in so many great moments with the Islanders, going back to the very beginning.
Right.
Does one stand out at all?
Oh, the biggest moment for me still in my Islander career was Bobby Nystrom's overtime goal when we became champions for the first time. I mean, it was just it was overtime. It was the moment that everything happens for you, something you dream about as a kid, which is winning the Stanley Cup. And Tonelli's cross-ice pass to Nystrom still is the biggest moment of my Islander career.
Now, when did you first realize that team had something good in them?
I'd probably say we picked up some really good players late in the season. Kenny Morrow came from the Olympics. Dwayne Sutter came at Christmas, about December. We had Gordie Lane and the Butch Goring trade. All of a sudden, the chemistry, we got on a bit of a roll, and we just kind of rode that wave right into the playoffs. And we started really believing in ourselves and recognizing we had a bit of an identity now. We could we went up against some tough teams in Boston and Buffalo and Philadelphia and LA, and we just kind of played any style that we had to in order to win.
Now, discuss the Islanders-Rangers rivalry. Now, you've been involved on both sides of the rivalry. As a player with the Islanders, you coached the Rangers for a bit. What is your state of mind knowing that there is so much bitterness and hatred between the two sides?
Well, if you put the Islanders and Rangers in an empty building, you wouldn't have any of the intensity or the the fact that no team wants to lose to each other than pride. But when you're dealing with the press and especially the fans, I mean, that's what brings out the rivalry in the players, because now we're playing for our fans and the title of who's the better team for a short period of time, because it was always like ebb and flow with the Ranger Islanders. Even though we were winning cups in the 80s, they still would play us hard, and they won the majority of the games. And we'd always say to ourselves, man, it always brings out the best in both clubs, and that was the best part, because the fans of New York got to see some tremendous hockey. Both teams really put everything out, and they recognized that this was just kind of like for bragging rights for New York for a short period of time, and it was fantastic. Whether you were coaching, whether you were playing, you really felt the atmosphere and the intensity in the air, mostly because of the fans.
Now, when you played during that rivalry, was there one particular Ranger that you hated, that someone who got under your skin, or did you just put your bad feelings aside and concentrate on the game?
We did a lot of charity work, we did a lot of community work with all the Rangers, and they're all first-class guys. But when we got on the ice, nobody had any friends, and that's what made the rivalry great, because it was really a professional attitude. And it was like, okay, and then afterwards, you see these guys at the next charity function. It was like, hey, that was a good game we had last week. Meanwhile, you're probably nursing a black eye or a fat lip or something. You're saying, yeah, it was a great game, and hopefully you'll be nursing a black eye and a fat lip next game. But it was all part of the game.
To wrap it up, discuss the Islanders now. Do you still keep up with them? And if so, what do you feel about the direction that they're going in?
Well, I got involved with the Islanders back in May. I took on a role with player development, so I'm working with the young guys in the organization, and a little bit of an advisory role with the hockey committee. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying back the time with the Islanders, and I think it's going to be a good season for them. I think they've got a nucleus of guys. They got DiPietro signed for 15 years. They've got Brendan Witt, he's a solid pickup for defense, and Sillinger up front. So, they're bringing in some grit. Those things are going to help them.
All right.
Certainly an honor getting a chance to speak with you. Thank you.
My pleasure, James.
All right, so we're talking here with Brian Trottier. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Freddie.
You're a great
Thanks,
guy, and I'm glad to meet you.
Pleasure.
And in the bleachers, Jamie was asking great questions. So, thank you very much.
See you along the
Thank
way.
you.
Thanks.